Good afternoon, my dear students. How are you today? Please open your students book, page number 86 to 87. In this lesson, we are going to study two lessons. We are going to study lesson 4, lesson 5. The first lesson, we are going to study the grammatical points here. We are going to differentiate between two types of verbs, stative verbs and dynamic verbs. Stative verbs and dynamic verbs. And we are going to make compound nouns by joining words together like global warming, etc. And we are going to discuss an important topic, one of the major problems that face our environment or our planet Earth. It's global warming. We are going to talk about the causes of global warming, the bad effects of global warming, and suggest some solutions. Okay. We are going to describe pictures talking about the environment, about pollution, etc. Okay, please pay attention to me. First, I'd like to remind you of the educational value for this month, good exemplar and good company. As we know, we are Muslims. We are very proud of our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So, our Prophet Muhammad is a good example to follow in our all actions and deeds. And you should have good company. You should have good friends. Stay away from bad friends. Surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher. Now, let's start with this question. What are the negative effects of global warming? Global warming is a very dangerous problem. It has some bad consequences or bad effects. What are these bad effects? What are the negative effects of global warming? What can it lead to? Muhammad Majdi.
It affects badly of environment and it
Yes.
causes health problem.
Good. Yes. Muhammad Maher.
It leads to floods in all over the forests and the city.
Very good. So it can lead to floods. It can lead to the melting ice or snow. Good. So global warming has negative effects. Examples: the world climate will change. So it will lead to the climate change. It leads to dangerous diseases and some health problems. It affects the environment badly, as Muhammad mentioned, and the extinction of animals or the endangered of some species. Some animals cannot adopt or what adopt or change to the new environment. How can we protect our environment and stop global warming? How can we protect our environment and stop global warming? It's our responsibility. After learning and studying different topics about global warming, raising people's awareness, what are these actions? What is our responsibility towards our environment? Faris Yasser, how can we reduce global warming?
By growing more trees and plants and using less energy.
Very good. Using less energy, reducing or planting more trees, stop cutting down trees. Ziad Hatim.
Using less plastic products.
Yes, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Good. We can reduce using our electricity or energy. We can reduce using plastic, paper, etc. We can reduce pollution. Okay, Kareem.
By stopping smoke from factories.
Good. We can grow more trees and plants. We can stop cutting down trees. We can keep seas, oceans, and rivers clean. So we should keep our beaches and shores, the ocean, seas, rivers clean. Okay, let's learn some of the new vocabulary.
Anticipate.
Anticipate. Anticipate. Anticipate is a verb. Anticipate means what to expect, to regard as probable, or expect or predict. So anticipate means expect. predict, anticipate.
Dread.
Dread. What now? Dread means to anticipate with great apprehension or fear. So dread means anticipate, expect, predict, but with fear, feeling frightened. Dread, dread, dread.
Suspect.
Suspect, suspect, to doubt the genuineness or truth of. These people suspect this man, he committed the crime. They suspect, they doubt, they are not sure.
Fell.
Fell, F-E-L-L. Fell is a regular verb and it means cut down a tree. What is the man doing? He is felling a tree. Felling a tree means cutting down a tree. You have to notice there is a difference between fall, fell, fallen. This is an irregular verb, means to go down something. While I was playing football, I fell down. Fell is an irregular verb for the past fall. But fill here is a regular verb, you add ed. What did he did or what did he do? He filled a tree. He filled a tree. Filled, F-E-L-L-E-D. Filled.
Consent.
Consent. Consent, to give permission for something to happen, to approve. So consent means agree, to give permission, to approve. Consent.
Contradict.
Contradict. Contradict, to say the opposite. Contradict, to deny the truth of a statement, especially by asserting the opposite, by making sure or showing the opposite. Contradict. Contradict. The grammatical point. The first one is stative and dynamic verbs. There are two types of verbs in English. Stative verbs and dynamic verbs. If you want to know more information, you can go to grammar reference pages 134 and 135. What are dynamic verbs? Dynamic verbs, verbs which refer to actions, are called dynamic verbs. So dynamic verbs are action verbs, أفعال حركية. Dynamic verbs. They can be used in the simple, perfect forms. I can say, I play football. He plays football. He played. He has played. They had played. Is playing. Was playing. Has been playing. Had been played. So dynamic verbs are verbs that show actions and can be used in different tenses. They can be used in the simple form, the perfect form, or the continuous or progressive form. For example, I can say, I usually drink coffee every morning for breakfast. This morning, I'm drinking tea. Now I'm speaking to you. So speak and drink are action verbs. They show an action, an action that can begin and finish. Okay, so these are dynamic verbs. You can use them in different forms, in different tenses. You can use it in the use them in the continuous tense. Okay, the other part or the other kind is stative verbs. أفعال تدل على الحالة. Stative verbs. Verbs which refer to conditions or states are called stative verbs. هي أفعال تدل على الحالة أو الحالات. Verbs of thoughts like think, believe, predict, expect, anticipate. Verbs of feelings, أفعال المشاعر. Verbs of sense, أفعال الحواس like smell, touch, see, look, steam. All these are what? These are stative verbs. They are permanent. هي أفعال دائمة. We cannot use them in the continuous tense. We cannot use them in the progressive tense. We do not usually use these verbs in continuous tense. For example, I believe traffic pollution is bad for you. I believe. Don't say I am believing. Do you know where she lives? Don't say are you knowing where she lives? We use stative verbs to express what we think, what we believe, and how we feel. يبقى أفعال الحالة بتتكلم عن الأفعال اللي فيها رأي، إيمان، مشاعر، أحاسيس. Note that we cannot use these verbs in the continuous or progressive forms. You cannot say Muhammad Majdi is owning 3 cars, but we say Muhammad Majdi owns 3 cars. Karim has 2 brothers. We don't say Karim is having 2 brothers. So have or has, possess, own, verbs of possession cannot be used in the continuous tense because it's something that something is permanent. These are some examples. There are different types of stative verbs. Verbs of thoughts like believe, think, agree, disagree, doubt, know, remember, forget, suspect, imagine. Verbs of emotions المشاعر love, hate, like, dislike, adore, loathe, desire, appreciate, want, need. Verbs of sense أفعال الحواس see, hear, smell, taste, see, feel, look, touch. Look هنا معناها يبدو مش ينظر. Look and see. These are verbs of sense. We don't use them in the continuous tense. Verbs of position أفعال الامتلاك have, own, possess, contain, belong, want, consist, include. All these verbs are examples for stative verbs. We use them in the simple tense. I say I believe. I don't say I'm believing. I say I love. I don't say I'm loving. I taste. I am not tasting. Don't say I'm not tasting. I'm not smelling. So I smell. I hear. But we can use some thinking or believing verbs in continuous tense. If we do this, their meaning changes. ممكن نستخدم بعض أفعال الرأي والتفكير والإيمان في ال ing في ال continuous tense, but their meaning changes ولكن معناها يتغير. What's the difference between these two examples? I think we should protect wild animals. I think means I believe we should protect wild animals. So think and believe means verbs of thoughts. We use them in the simple tense because it's a stative verb. But I'm thinking about getting a bike. I'm thinking here means I'm considering. I'm having in my mind at the moment. أنا بفكر في شراء دراجة now. Thinking here معناه أفكر. So if the word or the verb think means I consider or I have something in my mind at the moment, this is something temporary, شيء مؤقت. I'm thinking about getting a bike, it means I'm considering. So it has a different meaning. But I think, I believe it's a permanent opinion, رأي دائم. Another example, I expect things will improve. I expect means I believe. I believe things will improve. This is something permanent. And if I say, I'm expecting a letter from my pen friend, it means I am waiting for a letter from my pen friend. So here, expect here is an action verb. It's an action. I'm waiting for a letter from my pen friend. So you can use some thinking or believing verbs in the continuous, but if it has a different meaning. Now let's do the first exercise. Please look at the screen. Look at the screen. Choose the correct verb or option. Is it a dynamic verb or is it a stative verb? Read the sentence and choose. Muhammad Maher.
Yes, yes.
Number 1.
I think you are a nice person.
I think you are a nice person. I think you are a good person, Muhammad. Thank you. So think you give here a stative verb. It's a permanent opinion. Good. Karim.
It tastes good.
It tastes good. Yes, I like mahshi. It tastes good. Here, he, she, it, we add s. So what do you think of this food, Muhammad? It's very delicious. It tastes good. Thank you. Muhammad Majdi.
You look great.
You look great. You look great. You seem great. So what I'm giving a permanent opinion. but you are looking, if you are looking at something, so this is an action verb. You are look at the board. What are you doing now? You are looking at the board. You are looking at the screen. You are looking at the mobile phone. So look can be an action verb or a verb of senses like see or seem. Thank you. Yusuf Atiyah.
He has been working since this morning.
He has been working. Yes. So working here is an action verb and it is preceded with has been. This is what? This present perfect continuous. Has been verb plus ing. Has been working. Good. Okay. Abdurrahman, Mustafa.
He has a huge house.
He
House.
has a huge house. He has, yes, a verb of position. He has a huge house. Good. Abdurrahman has got two brothers. Good. Okay, Omar al-Banhawi.
They are looking at the photo album now.
Yes, so this is an action verb. Look, to have a look at something. Very good. They are looking at the photo album. Thanks a lot, so much. Okay, now please open your sentence book, page number 86. Now you are going to read these examples from A to F. These examples you heard them or you listened to them from the interview. You are going to underline the verbs about that talk about what? About thoughts and feelings, and then decide which tense are they in. Okay, for example, I don't think things are getting better. Think is a verb of thoughts. Okay, second one, let's see, Yusuf Sayed.
معك يا أستاذ.
Yes, Yusuf.
Number B.
Letter B.
Letter B. I suppose global warming is the most serious problem for me.
Yes.
I suppose.
I suppose. Very good. Okay, I suppose. Thank you. Muhammad Mahmoud.
The pollution is unbearable. I believe it's making people ill. I believe.
I believe. The pollution is unbearable. Unbearable. Believe. Yes, very good. Thank you, Muhammad. Ziad Hatim.
I reckon this is causing global warming. I reckon.
Reckon. Reckon means, Ziad, reckon means think, but it's informal. So reckon means think or
Think.
predict. All right, thank you. Hamad Saleh.
Yes, teacher. I love wild animals, and I hate to think that more of them become extinct.
Extinct. Yes.
I hate to think.
Yes. So we have two verbs here, or three verbs: love, hate, and think. Very good. Thank you, Hamad. Ahmed Haider, last one.
I know what people are hunting. I know.
I know. Very good. I know. So we have underlined or we have just circled the verbs of thoughts and feelings. Now let's move to the second exercise. We are going to classify these verbs into verbs of thoughts or verbs of feelings. Please look at the second exercise. Here, each verb is in the present simple tense. As we said before, we don't use the verbs of thoughts and feelings in the continuous tense. Okay, now put the verbs from extracts 1A to F into these two lists. We have verbs of thoughts and verbs of feelings. Give me examples, Abdullah Khalil. Give me examples for verbs of thoughts.
Think, suppose.
Think, suppose. What else?
Consent, know, recon.
Reckon.
Suspect.
Suspect. What did you say before suspect?
Realize.
Realize. Very good. So you have added, Abdullah, you have added here some some other verbs from this list: consent, anticipate, dread, realize, suspect, contradict. So these are verbs of thought. Let's say them again: think, suppose, believe, reckon, know, consent, anticipate, realize, suspect, contradict. Okay, good. And the verbs of feelings. Yes, who can give me verbs of feelings? Yes, let's see. Jubran. Where is Jubran now?
نعم.
Yes, Jubran.
Love, hate, dread.
Yes, love, hate, dread. Okay, good. Love, like, hate, dislike, dread. Okay, very good. Now, we can use the continuous form of some stative verbs, but with a different meaning. As I said before, what's the difference in meaning between the forms of think in these sentences? Which form of the verb means I believe and which means I have in my mind? You've got two examples. I think we should protect wild animals. I'm thinking about tigers and pandas in particular. Which one means I believe and which one means I have in my mind? Kareem Ahmed.
I think means I believe.
Thank you. Mohammed Maher. I'm thinking
about tigers and panda and
particular. What does it mean here?
particular.
Yes, what does it mean I'm thinking?
This meaning is I am going to think.
You've got two choices, Mohammed Maher. Does
Yes,
it mean I believe or does it mean I have in my mind? Which one?
I have in my mind.
I believe or I have in my mind?
I have in my mind.
Yes, good. So I think is a permanent opinion means I believe. And the second one, I'm thinking, refers to something which the speaker is considering at the moment. It means I have in my mind. يبقى أنا ممكن نقول أفعال التفكير اللي هو الرأي ممكن يكون رأي دائم فبستخدم إيه في البريزنت سيمبل. ممكن يكون لها معنى مختلف معناها I have in my mind something which is happening at the moment. شيء مؤقت بيحصل في الوقت الحاضر. Okay, and let's move to the second examples. I anticipate that things will improve. I am anticipating that my brother will call. Which verb means I wait for and which means I imagine? I anticipate, I am anticipating. Ziad Hatem.
I anticipate that things will improve means I imagine.
Yes, very good. And Yusuf Sayed, second one, I am anticipating.
I am anticipating. I am wait for.
I am waiting for. I'm waiting for. Yes, good. So the first one, I anticipate, is a general opinion. It means I imagine. I am anticipating describes a current situation. موقف مؤقت حالي. I am waiting for. This is an action verb. يبقى أنا تحول المعنى من فعل عبر رأي لفعل حركي. Dynamic verb. Now, we've got here 4 questions. We are going to discuss these questions later, but please prepare answers for these questions. About what? About global warming. What do you know about global warming? How do you think people in Kuwait can protect the environment and stop global warming? And what do you believe will happen if people do not stop filling or cutting down the rainforests? What do you think we should do to improve situations like the one shown in this photograph? Okay, so you are going to answer these questions later about global warming. Answer these questions. I'm going to discuss them later. Okay, now let's move to the next point here. Let's learn
Exhaust
some
pipe.
new vocabulary. Listen to this word.
Exhaust pipe.
Exhaust pipe. Exhaust pipe. Exhaust pipe. This is a part of the car or a vehicle that emits smoke. Exhaust pipe. A pipe on a car or a machine through which waste gases pass. So here the smoke passes through the exhaust pipe.
Smokestack.
Smokestack. Smokestack. Smokestack is a chimney. a chimney or pipe for discharging smoke from a locomotive, a ship, a factory, a restaurant. So you can see here smoke is coming out of smokestacks. Smokestacks like chimneys or pipes in factories, in restaurants, in ships.
Landfill site.
Landfill site. Landfill site. Landfill site, a place to dispose of or dispose of refuse and waste material by burying it and covering it over with soil, especially as a method of filling in or extended usable land. Landfill site, موقع ردم النفايات. Landfill site.
Dump.
Dump. Dump is a verb, means get rid of, deposit or dispose of garbage in a careless or hurried way. So dump means get rid of waste. Now let's have a look at these three pictures here. Picture A, picture B, picture C. Picture A is a factory. Picture A is a car or a vehicle, and picture C is a place, landfill site. Now, choose the correct word to describe each part of the pictures below. You've got here words and numbers. Number one, what does it refer to? Number one, it's a factory. Okay, what's number two, Abdurrahman Mustafa? Look at the picture. Yes, Abdurrahman, number two. Choose one of the words. Choose one of the words from the list, Abdurrahman.
Stack.
Yes, smokestack. Very good, smokestack. Number three, Muhammad Mahmoud.
Choose the number three.
What is coming out from the smokestack?
Chemicals or
one word from the text, please. One word from the list. Choose a word from the list.
Smoke. Oh, smoke.
Smoke. Pay attention, Muhammad. Okay, Yusuf Atiyah. Number four. What's number four?
It's a vehicle.
Yes, good. It's a car, a vehicle. Yes, Hamad Salah. What's number five?
Yes, teacher. Exhaust fumes.
Exhaust fumes. العوادم الخارجة من exhaust. Exhaust fumes. Yes, very good. Okay, the last picture here, picture C. Abdullah Khalil. Number 6. What is this? What is on the ground, Hamad? Abdullah Khalil. Abdullah Khalil, what is in the ground?
Yes, teacher.
Number 6 is
waste.
Waste, garbage, litter, rubbish, nufayat. Waste, garbage, rubbish. Okay, Yusuf Mahmoud. Number 7. The place is called Shahata.
Landfill site.
Yes, landfill site. Very good. So we have finished describing the 3 pictures. What are we going to do in exercise 2? We are going to use these new words to complete the sentences in exercise 2. Use these words to complete the sentence. Complete sentence A, B, C using the words and phrases used to label the illustrations or to label the pictures. A. Who would like to read? A. Muhammad Rajdi. Yes, Muhammad.
Look at that factory. There is black smoke coming from the smoke attack 24 hours a day, 7 days
Thanks
a week.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's listen to Kareem. Yes, Kareem.
Exhaust fumes from the exhaust pipe of vehicle can make it difficult for people to breathe.
To breathe. Yes, very good. So they are talking about picture B here, the exhaust fumes that comes from the car makes it difficult to breathe because of the pollution. Thank you. Let's see. Ziad Hatem. C.
There is a landfill site on the outskirts of our city where they dump people's waste.
Very good. Dump means get rid of. Get rid of waste. Very good, Ziad. Thank you. Okay. Now let's move to compound nouns. Compound nouns, nouns which are joined together, like break fast becomes breakfast. Compound noun is a noun which is made up of two or more words. Haircut, ice cream, rainforest, football, aircraft. All these what? All these are compound nouns, words which are joined together. We can join them or we can put a dash or a hyphen. We can leave space between them, like rainforest. We can leave space like living room. But bathroom is one word. Okay, now let's make some examples for compound nouns like this. Join these words from list A to words from list B to make a compound noun. Animal, animal change, animal site, animal fumes, animal habitat, animal warming. Animal, yes, let's see, Muhammad Maher, animal what?
Animal habitat.
Animal habitat, yes. We shouldn't destroy the natural habitat or the animal habitat. Good. Let's see, Hamad Saleh, climate.
Yes, teacher. Climate change.
Very good. Yes, Abdullah Khalil, global.
Global warming.
Global warming, very good. Landfill, Ziad.
Landfill site.
Very good. Ali Walid.
Extinct farms.
Exhaust fumes. Exhaust fumes. Again, Ali.
Exhaust fumes.
Exhaust fumes. Very good. Okay, this is stress pattern exercise. Here you are going to check pronunciation. Make a list by joining stress patterns. وصل العبارات اللي فيها نفس النغم نفس القافية بتاعتها. Do you work at home? Does he like to swim? It's getting worse. He's feeling ill. I don't believe him. I want to see you. I'm very frightened. She's really worried. Buses are slow. Taxes are fast. نفس الوزن بتاعها عدد المقاطع الكلمات الموجودة. مش مهم الجزء ده. تعالوا نركز على حاجة تانية يا شباب.
11
الفوكابلري اللي احنا درسناه النهارده. Anticipate, consent, contradict, dread, dump, exhaust pipe, fill, landfill site, smokestack, suspect. These are the words we studied today. Read them, read the new examples or the sentences, and then you can do the exercises later. Here, stative verbs, as we mentioned, there are two types of verbs. Stative verbs, they usually refer to a state or condition, which is not changing or likely to change. They cannot normally be used in the continuous or progressive forms. These are examples: thinking verbs, feeling and emotions, senses and positions. زي ما شفنا الأمثلة. Okay. And for example, I believe traffic pollution is bad for you. It means what I believe. It means I think. So it's a permanent opinion. Do you know where she lives? This is a permanent opinion. But dynamic verbs, verbs which describe actions we can take or things that happen, they describe activities or events which can begin and finish. يعني بتصف نشاط أو أنشطة أو أحداث ممكن تبدأ أو ممكن تنتهي. I eat, I drink, I go, I type, I read, I write, listen, speak, watch. All these what? All these are dynamic verbs. We can use them in all tenses, in simple, in perfect, in continuous or progressive forms. Okay? I hope you enjoyed watching the lesson. Thank you so much. Until we meet again next week. Goodbye, and don't forget to study the lesson.
Okay, teacher. Thanks. Thanks a
You are
lot.
welcome. Assalam.